Hello, welcome to IT Security Labs. Today we're completing day 10 of Advent of Cyber Challenge, and we'll be learning about SQL injections. So the main objectives for the day are we should learn to understand and identify SQL injection vulnerabilities, then exploit stacked queries on this SQL site, then help with the restoration of the website. So first you start the machine, and then we'll jump into it. So manually navigate to the defaced website to find the vulnerable search form. What is the web page that came across that contains the gift ending feature? Okay, so connecting to the IP address, we notice that we have a website here, and on this website, we can do a gift search. And what we want to look for is the URL. If there's any injectable parameters, we should be able to see them up there. Then start your search. So it takes us to giftsearch.php. I think that's the one that they want. Analyze SQL error message that is returned. What ODBC driver is being used? Well, we haven't done the search yet. So if we hit search and we see that we can search for this parameter or that parameter. Let's just put a single quote at the end. That's how we can test for any injectable parameters. And by just putting a single quote at the end there, we see that we get an error. And I think it's this one. Inject one is equals to one condition in the gift search form. What is the last result returned in the database? Okay, so they showed us during the walkthrough here where we can just do this single quote, one equals to. So let's do that. So instead of the single quote, let's put this at the end there. And we get some results. So it looks like it just dumped everything. So we can scroll all the way to the bottom. And that's the flag that they're talking about. What flag is the node file that was left on the operating system? So if they're talking about on the system, we need to gain access to the system. And one of the things that the room walks you through is how to get command execution and also just be able to access the system. But before we do that, we need to go and run the exec reconfigure command on our site. So this is what we need. I'll just leave that one there. This is like just tagging the reconfigure so that we can actually run commands on the SQL server. And it says, sorry, no results, but it actually worked. And then once we can run commands, we can tell it to download our payload. So we need to generate a payload. Here they're just getting a reverse TCP payload. We can do that as well. Or we can get Metasploit if we wanted to. Open our terminal. So in my AOC folder here, if I do an IPA, grep tan, let's see what tan I have. Tan is 0. I think that's the TryHackMe VPN that I have. So the reason why I wanted to know where my IP address is that I want you to go to tan 0, which is my tunnel. This is generating me a payload that I can use on the site. So while this payload is generating using MS Venom, I'll open a new tab. So this payload needs to be delivered somehow, and that's where we need to start the simple HTTP server and put 8000. And once we start the simple HTTP tab, start a netcat on all quad 4s, because that's what we use with MS Venom to generate the reverse shell. So we're listening. Now we need to we need to deliver our shell and then execute it. So in this case, to deliver it, we'll just do this. Actually, let's go to our URL and put our IP address there. So new tab in the browser. We'd like to go to, we're using setutil to download the payload, but here we need the IP address of my Kali. IPA grep tan 0. So this is my IP address. We need to copy that. Come here, replace your IP address with that IP address. So this should reach out to us, and we will know because if we check our simple HTTP server, we get a get here. Now that we delivered it, we need to make sure that we run it. And to run it, we delivered it in the temp. So to run it, we just go to this full path here. This is actually the path on the system where we're trying to access and execute it. We could have done it in one command, but it doesn't matter. So we're going to say, hey, SQL, use your command execution to run that file that we delivered. In this case, when we do that, we come back, our listener was there, and now we get a system shell. CDC users, there, when you have administrator, usually it's on desktop. Now we can say there on the desktop, that's where people usually put flags. So we have note.txt, type note.txt. Okay, we see a flag. I don't know which one though. I haven't seen. What flag? Oh yeah, that's the one. I know that's the one because this is signed by the same person that they're looking for. Okay, what else is in here? Restore website.bat. That's the actual file that we can use. I think what flag do you receive on the home page after restoring the website? Let's just run it. Give them the name of the bat file and Windows will execute it. So paste it here. All right, the website has been restored. If we refresh it, they said, we should be able to get the final flag. But it's not happening. Let's go to the home. That was the wrong refresh. And we see our final flag here. So this was a very good reminder that SQL injections are still a thing out there and they're easy to exploit. So most people need to patch their systems. Otherwise, if you learned something here and if you like this content, please like, subscribe, and share my content. And I hope to see you next time.